Also, for the Lions, we see Boyle actually get up now. Looks like it's going to be okay, but he's down for just a minute and a half. Same thing for 2024 performers of the month. Unfortunately, the Bobcats, none of them are this. Being scored of Lisa, Patrick Okonkwo, 2 goals in 3 games in the league. Defender Kevin Herrera also in the league race. 2 goals and 1 assist. So, impressive metrics there for the Lions, but Bobcats hopefully along the way and find themselves presented. Jake Wells back on his feet now.
Yes, Kiki!
Possession back to the Lions. Referees for the day are Marie Gerard, Walt George, Andrew Kennedy. Marie Gerard, the center referee. Just crossed the ball in just a few minutes ago. The same ball was played in the box where Jacob Boyle made contact with the Lions. This one looks to be a foul. The offensive third of the Lions. So I'm unsure whether it's going to be the Bobcats' ball or the Lions' ball. It looks like it's going to be a Lions' throw. Bobcats' throw, excuse me. Clear foul there. Oh, excuse me, it was a no call there from Derek. Looked like a way to challenge. But no call there from Derek. This one looks like it's going to be the Lions' ball. We'd like to shout the Bobcats moving tons of them, folks are on their way through and supporting the team on a weekly basis. A lot of the fandom environment in this re-entry stadium would not be the same. So shout out to the Academy. Back in play and just like the other side. And turn the ball over. This one's going to be a set piece. Look like it's going to play along there, all the way up to a 5-0. Looks like Gonzalez played that one up. Really got to know about it. Andrew Wydell is the center. Espinal had a free kick earlier in this week. Frank just off the left post. And it's got it. It was like 1 inch right. Probably would have went far in. David Bobcats their first goal today. We're approaching the 15-minute mark. It's going to be a lot later on the ball. Probably takes this one. It's that foot lofts it in the box. And looks like it's clear there. Picked up there from Elijah Clark, the goalie for the Lions, and they're in transition now. Looks like the ball is locked in John.
Kiki, I saw that. Started.
Not shy with the whistle. Down there, it's on that time.
Well, are they there?
Send a long ball over there. Sends a deep long ball to John A. on the left side of the field. He'll look to take on Ward one-on-one. Just near save there. Shot there on target. But unfortunately, no goal there for the Lions. Save there for Jake Ward. And now you're saying maybe it didn't touch on Olivia's fingertips, so it's not going to be a card. Lots of discussion because he and Sarah are talking. Complaining about how that one should have that foul on something else. Doesn't look like it's the Bobcats' ball. Jake Wood. It's Tom Lawler has it here. Plays a long ball. Reached that line. It's long ball to Raj and O. For a while, that one, like the others, unsuccessful. Shit out on that handball. In the month of April, Herrera has a pretty notable achievement, scoring 2 goals and assisting 1 in 3 games. So shout out to Herrera there. Really do the same thing, keep up the streak in the month of May, especially in this big. That's rare bottom ball. Herrera on his right flank, maybe looking to take on. Space there. Shuffle this one back to it's number 6, Jumbo Southern. Played in the box, a bicycle kick on the
well here. Going to look to find Elijah Amo, and nothing to be found there. As Hernandez finds another one of the Lions, and Jeanne tries to as well on the left wing. Travis Ward gets tripped up there, and Marie Durr is going to reward a foul for the Bobcats just around the midline. As we just approach the 26th minute mark of this 90-minute match. Ward appears to be hurt, but gets back on his feet. This Georgia Lions team sits just below Maryland at third place in Group A. As that ball is played short to Travis Ward. Ward moves it to Pausian. Almeida here. Almeida carries it up to the midline. No real pressure here from the Lions. Now they will bring pressure, and Almeida makes a massive mistake there as this ball might be played deep. A shot from half field. Just off target. They were looking to catch Boyle outside of his net. But that one's just off target. Boyle likes to play high and typically stay out of his 18-yard box, but that time the Lions were not able to sneak one up on him. As Andrew Wyvell, visibly frustrated, tries to find Davey Mason running on this left flank. Going to be Lions ball. Picked up there from number 2, Herrera. Herrera looking there. Finds number 13, Jeffrey O'Toole. And this one we swung out to Jungwoo So. Finds Ian Serra. Jeannet. Back to Jeannet, and he'll take on Pausian one-on-one. As a cross is sent over the net and out of bounds. Not where Jeannet had intended. Looks like he could have carried that one up a little further, but now it's back in play. The goal kick from the Bobcats. Elijah Amo playing a little deeper here. Davey Mason has the ball, swings it to Pausian in the middle with time and space. Finds Mwape instead. Travis Ward on the right flank. And now here's Espinal. Back to Wyvell. Espinal sitting on the ball here in the middle third. Finds Pausian. Swings it here. Looks like Ward on the ball. Not Ward, excuse me, Gonzalez. Now Mwape. Aka. Gonzalez. Gonzalez looked to go deep there. Couldn't find anybody. Almeida. Now back to Ward on the right flank. As the ball was out of bounds when it was played to Ward. This one is Jadama. Now played to Clark. Zaragoza. Elijah Mo, light pressure. Hernandez there. Back to goalkeeper Clark. And Zaragoza recycles. Zaragoza on the ball. Jadama. Zaragoza. Playing a little back and forth. Again, Jadama. Long ball. This one looks to run out of bounds and bounce off the sponsorship boards. Travis Ward will pick up. Here's the throw from Ward. Ward gets the ball back. Aka. Tongwa Aka finds Davey Mason running on the left flank. Mason takes a touch into space. Finds Mwape. Mwape looking to get something here. Doesn't look like he will. Jungwoo So with a deep clear all the way back to Bobcats goalie, but Almeida saves it before it gets there. As Almeida, another frustrating mistake, tries to find Gonzalez there in the midfield, just unable to do so. As number 8, Jeannet, is back on the ball for the Lions in the Bobcats territory. This one runs out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be Georgia FC's first corner of the day. Cerro on the ball. Cerro raises a hand. Sends this one in. Bobcats clear. Travis Ward and number 5, Modu Jadama, closest to the ball as Ward clears this one up, finds Mwape, finds Captain Pausien. Mwape back to his feet. And this one, Darwin Espinal. Darwin driving. Espinal takes it closer to the Lions' net. Pausien back in the ball in the middle third of the field. Wydell telling them, let's settle it down. Back to Gonzalez near the left flank. Has Mason here. We'll play Amo instead. Gonzalez plays Pausien, who finds Darwin Espinal, who will take a shot and just send a field goal over the net. His third shot of the day. Second moving. One of them was a free kick that nicked off the left post. So Espinal unable to find the net so far as we approach the 33rd minute of this match. Modu Jadama plays this one deep, cleared out by Almeida. Gonzalez on the ball, Pausien. Tongwa Aka plays the ball to Davy Mason on the left flank, just crossed the midfield mark, and Davy Mason's going to take his space, play a ball across the field to Mwape, who will save it. Mwape still on the ball. A shot on cage and a save there from Clark. A left leg extension save keeps the ball out of the net. And a near goal for the Bobcats. Mwape able to keep that one in bounds and almost net the first one on the day. So now Georgia FC has possession. Sends a deep ball to Sarah on the left wing. As this one looks to run out of bounds. And now Travis Ward with another throw. We'll find Gonzalez. Almeida, Tongwa Aka, and the Bobcats recycling. Davy Mason on the left flank. Gonzalez back on the ball. The Bobcats and Almeida on the ball. Now Gonzalez plays a deep long ball. Ends up in the feet of Jung Woo So. Now Georgia is moving forward. Jeanne tries to find Cerro there, midfielder. Lions will play this one back. Now find Zaragoza, who will be approaching the midline. About to cross the midline and opts to go back there to Jadama. Jeffrey Otu, midfielder for FC on the ball. Jadama sends a long ball, tries to find Herrera. Davy Mason cleans it up, plays it out. Raja Mo collects. Now Georgia is back on the ball. Herrera on the right wing. Hernandez plays Herrera again. Back to Hernandez. Who will recycle, plays Zaragoza. Jeffrey Otu. Kevin Mendoza, not O2 there. As there's no foul call there, and that ball's played forward and then out of bounds. And now Davy Mason is on the ball, on the throw-in, plays to Gonzalez. And just mistouches that one out of bounds. Jeffrey O2 is back on the ball, has time. Swings a deep pass there to Jeannet on the left wing, who aims to take on Espinal and Ward. He will with speed. Jeannet loses the ball there, and no foul call, as Espinal is just fouled, tripped on his foot. Espinal is second in the Golden Boot race right now, behind Patrick Okonkwo, forward for Georgia FC. Okonkwo has 5 goals so far on the season, whereas Espinal only has 4. As the Bobcats have the ball again here. Lose it from Gonzalez, and now it's back to Madama.
Really gas it to make sure you're kind of exhausting yourself. Not to the point where you feel the problem, just for something that you know is safe. Just to get that cardiovascular part up, so that when you're really ready to run, you're going to get it. Also,
FC. Back to the Bobcats. It is swings it to Almeida.
usually I bring my son. I'm going. I don't bring everybody in for follows that it's hard to that. So it's a good chance to check out whatever. I know it's not like in a furry way, but like you got a couple of girls that keeps the ball in play. People come out and really mess around. That came out of one of our team building where we mess around. We really want to get a Bobcat costume. Like a mascot. And some dudes knock on If you want to wear it, it's going to be miserable when it's not out yet. Right? Yeah, I was the one that kind of talking about that. I can't imagine
Back to Espinal. Espinal getting near the goal. This point in the 18 box. Espinal dribbling around, dancing the box. Plays short here. Back to Ward. Now Espinal plays the ball in the goal. Just a pass there.
Yeah, guys have trained today. They have training today about 20 minutes ago. Like we were done training at like 9:20, 9:15 past feeding. We just done the vlog there. They didn't do anything about that. Sunday, Tuesday, they barely we scrimmaged them for like they played for 8 minutes in the scrimmage besides like the ball work and stuff, and then their training is the
Faced off against Georgia FC. This one is still 0-0 as we approach the 45-minute mark and halftime. Davy Mason tries to settle the ball there for the Bobcats, and now Georgia FC is in transition. Here it is, Herrera, notable for winning one of the top performers of the month category for the month of April on Georgia FC as Georgia loses possession there, picked up by Mwape, played to Pausian, back to Mwape, now Ward, Pausian. Davy Mason played on the left flank here, and Herrera just locks that one up. Tongwaaka plays to Espinal in the midfield. Loses it there. Espinal, pretty sloppy play right there as we approach the 45-minute mark. Beautiful day out here at Marine Hendricks Field. Been sunny all day. Looks like as we approach the 45-minute mark, there's going to be 2 minutes of extra time here before we go into our first stoppage of the match. So we have number 5, Modou Jadama on the ball and plays it to Zaragoza, who plays it to Hernandez, back to Zaragoza. Zaragoza dribbles the ball up to the center circle, drops it off to Jadama there again. Kevin Mendoza, Jungwo Su. A long ball there from Jadama. Almeida says no thanks. Sends it back in the opposite direction. Gonzalez plays this one. It looks like it's going to be a foul there, maybe from Espinal. Unsure of who Marie Durr was giving that foul to. Definitely somebody on the Bobcats can tell you that, as we are now in extra time of the first half. Number 7, Giovanni Rios Hernandez on the ball, it seems. Looks like maybe Ian Serra will take this one from Hernandez. Looks like Serra may play it. Unsure. Maybe that's part of the Georgia FC's tactic. Unsure. Nobody has approached the ball as of yet. Looks like Serra will raise his left hand, play this ball into the box, and Almeida that uses that big head and sends that one Back to Georgia. The team, not the state. As this one will run out of bounds and maybe be the second corner kick so far awarded to Georgia. Looks like Ian Cerro as well as Hernandez will line up again. Hernandez closer to the ball, maybe going to take the corner for Georgia. This one's played into the box. Jeffrey O2 on the ball and sends a strike just over the bar, just off target as Marie Durr calls for halftime. Appreciate you tuning in so far in this match. Before we wrap up, just wanted to give another quick shout out to another one of our sponsors and the sponsor of NISA, Zara, the official soccer ball sponsor of the league. So from the first half, we are still tied at 0-0. The Lions have one more shot than the Bobcats, 4 shots to 3. Lions also have one more save than the Bobcats, thanks to their goalkeeper, Elijah Clark. As we are halted at the half, we'll be back in just a moment here from NISA Sports for another second half action between the Maryland Bobcats and Georgia FC. Thank you for joining us here at Marine Hendricks Field. We are about to get underway the second half, the beginning of the second half. And just to recap some of the first half action, it's still 0-0 between the Bobcats and the Georgia FC Lions. And let's just talk about some of the things that the Bobcats and Lions can do better in this second half to maybe get the separation, get that 1 or 2 goals that they want, and ultimately get the 3 points and win the match. So the Bobcats in the first half struggled to put more than 2 shots on target. One was a free kick by Espinal within the first 6 minutes of the match. And if they want to do better in this second half and actually net one of them, they're going to have to put more on the frame and build better in that final third. Additionally, the Bobcats need to do a better job playing off Amo and Espinal. We saw a little bit of action with them being a little chemistry between the two, but nothing that led to a goal or a shot on target. Additionally, the Bobcats need to stop fouling in their half. Way too many fouls within their own side of the field that gave the Lions a window to get a shot on goal or to play in the box. And it looks like we're not going to get underway just yet as they're working to get the clock rolling. But the Lions in the first half, tons of set piece opportunities, really led to nothing grand of any sorts. Lots of questionable shots. We even saw a shot almost from half field by their striker, Patrick Okonkwo. I trust his judgment for most of their shots because he leads the NISA in goals, but this one was way off and he even knew it. So they need to take a little bit more into consideration when they're shooting the ball. And finally, they need to match the physicality of the Bobcats. Lots of time they're getting nudged around. They don't look that intense when they're playing, as opposed to when the Bobcats are on the ball and fighting back for possession. So I think that's something the Lions need to do better. And finally, we'll crown our first half MVP, none other than goalkeeper Elijah Clark, who has 2 saves for Georgia, including one impressive leg save on Okonkwo's shot on goal. So he has kept the ball out of the net for the Lions so far in this match. And as we are about to get underway at the start of the second, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in, but also take a look at nisasoccer.com for the latest scores, stats, standings, and news as we begin the start of this second half. Referees Marie Durr, Walt Torshan, Andrew Kennedy, and Armin Bakan are officiating today as part of the crew. And it looks like we're going to have a sub. Unsure if it's for the Bobcats or for the Lions, but we'll get that information in just a minute, as it looks like number 23 is coming off and number 30 is coming on. And there may have been an injury in the first half, it looks like, as we have some trucks on the side, some Sprinter vans that are taking care of something just on the side of the Hendricks Field. So take a look at that in a minute. But we just got underway the second half, about 25 seconds in, and the Lions have possession. Georgia FC on the ball as they'll look to move it around as number 5, Modu Jadama, swings it to Zaragoza, finds Hernandez there. Hernandez will look to find Ian Cerro, who's driving on the right flank with pace. Cerro will play a ball in there. Number 14, Patrick Okonkwo, who wanted the call there in the box, would have been a penalty. Marie Durr says, back on your feet. And back to play we are. Davy Mason drives a ball up to Darwin Espinal, who will play to Mwape. Number 30, looks like Tyler Gabara is in play. So Manuel Gonzalez was the sub, and Tyler Gabara came in. We saw a little bit of action from him last game here at the Maryland Soccerplex. Gabara played against the Savannah Clovers on Saturday. There's now Davy Mason driving up the left flank. Opts to take on Herrera. Looks like he'll get fouled there. Seems to be just outside the box. The left side of the 18. pretty blatant foul there, as now some of the Lions will come over and argue. They didn't think that was a foul, maybe more so looked like a flop, but Marie Durr does not seem to be budging, and this one will be played. Will be set just outside of the box on the left side of the 18. On the ball, it looks like Espinal. Can't get too clear of a look, but from where I am in the press box, it looks like Espinal is on the ball. Be utterly surprised if he took this one as a shot. More so probably just going to loft this one near the back post, try and find somebody's head. He puts this one on Cage, and that's actually going to be a goal for the Bobcats. Espinal opted to shoot that one, but now Marie Durr saying, is it a goal? Is it not a goal? They're going to put one goal on the board. I think that's a goal. They give the credit to Espinal, but it was almost like a reflective goal. Are they going to call it a goal? Are they going to call it offsides? We're unsure what it is right now. Doesn't look like it's going to be a goal. I'm unsure what the call was. Maybe offsides, maybe a foul. Maybe they thought that Elijah Clark, the goalkeeper for the Lions, already had the ball in his hands. That's my thinking, as this one will still be tied at 0 apiece. Almeida, first header, second chance, heads it back in Bobcats' direction, going forward as Mwape gets the ball. Little nifty move there, Maradona. Plays it out left. Davy Mason on the ball, back to Espinal. This one will go out of bounds and be Bobcats' ball on a throw. Tongwa Aka, who's come up from the Bridgesport club, where some of these other fellow players have as well. Also, a partner of the Maryland Bobcats, so shout out to Bridgesport Soccer Club. And also, quick shout out to Saints Row Brewing, the official beer company for the Bobcats. You can check out their products, and most importantly, if you're here at Marine Hendricks Field, check out our very own Bobcat beer. As the Lions are on the ball, as a long ball will be played here from John A, and that'll be scooped up by Boyle, who hasn't seen too much action today from Georgia's offense. Rolls this one out to Aka, who finds Mason. Back to Aka. Gabara checking in, will not get the ball. Instead, it looks like it'll be Espinal on the ball, who's driving at the goal. Dumps it off to Passien. Mwape on the ball. Looks like he'll play a ball into the back post. That was Elijah Amo. Strikes the ball on target. A beautiful save from Elijah Clark, picking up just where he ended in that first half. But that's played back to Amo, who seemingly was on sides and did nothing with the ball. Scooped up again by Clark. Clark, who was our first half MVP, has not missed a beat to start off this second half, as we're just about 5 minutes in. Rolls it out to Modu Jadama, who plays number 6, Jungwoo So. Saw a little bit of action of him on the left side in the first half. As now the Lions will move it around across the field. Find Zaragoza. Now Serra, who will look to find their forward Okonkwo, and Aka says, get that out of here. Aka plays a sloppy pass there and ends up in the feet of Serra. Ultimately, now Jeffrey at 2 on the ball, who will play this out to number 8, Lamin Jane, left forward for the Lions. Back to Jadama. A 19. Kevin Mendoza. Lions swing the ball all the way around. Looks to find Herrera there. Shove in the back there. Save shot there from Serra, saved by Boyle, as he'll punt this one just across the midline. Elijah Amo heads it. Looks to settle it down again. Uses strong body to try and gain possession. Will not. Jungwoo So was on the ball. Kind of helped save that one. Prevent Amo from getting it. Jadama. on the ball. We'll find Hernandez. Now Zaragoza. Hernandez in the midfield, just in the center circle. Plays it there to Cerro. Takes a great first touch. Now plays it to Patrick Okonkwo. The Lions are in the attacking third. Takes a shot on goal. Upper 90. Top left shot there. Number 13, Jeffrey O'Toole. A beautiful left foot strike just outside the 18. The goalie, Jacob Boyle, had no chance, as that's going to be the first netted goal of the day. And that'll give the Lions a 1-0 lead to kick off this second half. Unfortunately, we cannot provide you with a replay of that, but just know that was a pretty goal to the upper left corner. A beautiful strike by Jeffrey O'Toole. Georgia FC notched their first goal of the day and the first goal for both teams. As we'll be back in the center circle, Elijah Mo on the ball. I think most of this Bobcats team is kind of starstruck right now as to what just happened there. I mean, a quick turn of events, and now they're down 1-0 to a team that lost to the Savannah Clovers, who the Bobcats beat just a few days ago, 2-0. These will be number 15, Richard Forka, for the Bobcats. His first touches on the ball as he came in at the beginning of the second half. And now the Bobcats need to put the attack on a little bit more. As Almeida sends a long ball here. Looks like it's to Amo. Amo with a beautiful first touch. But number 5, Modu Jadama, cleans that one up. Plays it back to Clark. Hernandez on the ball for Georgia. Bobcats definitely applying more pressure now. We're not expecting that rocket of a shot from Georgia. Now it looks like Wyvell was on the ball here. Cleans it up, sends it back to the back line. Almeida plays a little ball into space there to Forka. Forka keeps it on the ground. Finds Gabara. Gabara turns it over. Jadama cleans that one up. That didn't look like much there, but it looks like O2 went down. But now the Bobcats have the ball. That one's going to run out of bounds in the end line. Amo tries to save it. Will not save it. And now referee Marie Durr will check on Jeffrey O2, who went down near the midline. Maybe it looks like it's his leg. Maybe a calf cramp or an ankle injury, it seems. Signals Patrick Okonkwo that O2 is going to need a sub. From the looks of Georgia FC's bench, there are tons of players warming up. So, as the trainer will come on for O2. With this brief break we have, I'd like to take this chance to shout out Rehab to Perform, official rehab partner for the team, rehabbing all injuries and setbacks that these players and other athletes face on a daily basis in training and when they're playing in games. So O2 gets back to his feet here. And he'll hobble, looks like. Now he's jogging, and he will be headed to the sidelines, it looks like. Maybe to collect a sub. Nobody stepped on the field yet for Georgia. But that might change in just a minute. We're seeing what the referees say. Doesn't look like they brought anybody else on the field unless I'm missing someone, but maybe they're going to wait to just bring him back on in just a minute at the next stoppage. And O2 is going to run back on the field and take over his midfield position he was just playing. Georgia FC is just playing there with 10 players for a brief moment, but now they're back to 11. As Almeida is going to play his patented long ball out to Mo on the right flank, and this one's going to run out of bounds, and they'll be gifted a goal kick. Yep, and so we just got confirmation as to why the goal that Darwin Espinal shot that ended up in the goal. Looks like there was a foul on Elijah Clark. Not on Elijah Clark. Somebody fouled Elijah Clark when he was in net and he had possession of the ball. So that is why that one was called back. You see that pretty frequently when somebody runs into the goalie, but that one didn't seem to be that physical from my perspective up here at the press box, but enough for Marie Durr to call it back and say there was a no goal. As now the Bobcats, Jacob Boyle collects the ball, tells his team to move up, spread out, so they can build out of the back. As Davy Mason's on the ball. Looks like they'll eventually find Espinal. And now clip a ball out to the right winger. The right back. This is number 15, Richard Forca. As we are approaching the 59th minute of this match. Bobcats yet to get on the board. As Tongwa Aka gets that ball in the back and plays it to midfielder Gabara. Finds Davy Mason. Now Wyvell. Now Pausian. We'll find Richard Forca on the right flank. Who's going to end up finding Mwape. Who will play a ball in the box, and that's cleared out. Appears to be Zaragoza who plays that one out. Now Georgia has possession. Ian Serra. Now number 8, John A. Now Jungwoo Stowe. Number 19 on the ball is Kevin Mendoza. Mendoza sits with it around the midfield mark. Plays the ball to Zaragoza. Now back to Clark. We'll chip this one and send it to Hernandez on the right side of the field. Hernandez sits on the ball. Back to Mendoza. We'll play Jane out on the left side, but it'll be interesting to see if he keeps this in. A little shoulder tap there. Zhang Wu So collects it. Back to Jadama. Zaragoza. Right flank here, I believe it was Herrera who played that one. Ian Serra is going to get called on the push in the back against Georgia. Now the Bobcats will have possession once again as we just approached the 60-minute mark of this 90-minute match. Almeida with the ball, approaching the midline. Almeida's played a lot of long balls this game, trying to find a Mo up top. Hasn't really been too successful. They've been great balls, but Mo cannot seem to break the threshold that is this back line. As he'll try once again here, Mo on the ball. Takes on Zaragoza. That one seems to be awarded. Now a corner kick for the Bobcats. On the ball is Espinal, leading goal scorer for this team, and had a shot earlier that went in the goal, but was called back due to ruckus between the Bobcats and Elijah Clark, the goalie for the Lions, for Georgia FC. As Clark will punch that one out. Looks like it's going to end up in the feet of Travis Ward if he can collect it properly. That's Tyler Gabara, And Gabara is going to be on the ball for a throw. Opts to go back and find Mwape. We'll find Pausian. Aka. Davy Mason. Wyvell. Aka. Aka with the long ball here will find Richard Forka. Beautiful ball there, but Herrera breaks that one up. Now John A., the forward for Georgia FC, is moving with speed, but he will go down and say that he got clipped in the ankle there, but it looks like it's going to be a throw-in, maybe a no call there for Marie Durr. And the captain, Pausian, does not understand how that's not the Bobcats' ball. But Marie Durr is going to check on Jeannet, the forward for Georgia FC. As he is still apparently down on the ground. Patrick Okonkwo is going to check in on him, the Nigerian. 6 for 6 on his appearances in all 6 of their regular season games this season, as number 6, Jungwoo So, is now on the throw. Looks like we're going to see a sub for the Bobcats. Looks like number 80, Mwape, is going to come on. Number 99 is going to join us on the field as Abdul Tiam. I believe Tiam scored on Saturday against the Savannah Clovers. So it'll be interesting to see what impact he has. He scored in a late minute. It was the second and final goal of the day. As you can see, a drone in front of me, it appears, maybe getting some on-field access, on-field shots of the Bobcats. But it could also just be a random drone from somebody else's outside. So back to the game it is. And Tongwa Aka on the ball, finds Wyvell. And they'll move this to Richard Forka at the right back position. He's going to play back to Aka. And finding Aka here. Wape had some pretty valuable minutes for the Bobcats, but was unable to really get anything going too forward for them in the final third. So coach decided it was probably best if they got a sub, Alex Cow. As Pausian's going to apply some pressure to Jeffrey O2. And now, a near pass there from number 6, Jungwoo So. Almost intercepted by Tiam and Amo on the attacking front. Zaragoza is going to play a long ball here to John A. O2 here. We'll play this one to So, who will drop it back and find Jadama. O2 on the ball again. Zaragoza. The beautiful touch there. Just outside the box, he'll play a long ball. Just go to Bobcats Davey Mason, who will head this one, keep it back in play. And he looks to find number 10, Darwin Espinal, who puts his head down, unsure if it's frustration or if he got hit in the eye there. As now Georgia is back on the ball. It's Elijah Clark, their goalie, holding on to the ball as there's no apparent pressure by the Bobcats. As Zaragoza will find Kevin Mendoza in the midfield, and Mendoza will stay on the ball until he finds Jadama, who will find Zaragoza, and back to Mendoza. Georgia appears to be working the ball as they'll clip this one to Jean A on the left wing, and that one's going to run out of bounds. And great defense there from Richard Forka as he'll have a throw for the Bobcats. And Marie Durr, referee, was not very happy there with Forka as he's not backing up. He tried to get a lead off on that throw. There's now a Mo's on the ball, but Jungwoo So just picks him apart, really. As Pausian falls on Jungwoo So's nifty little chop there. As now Georgia's making an attack forward with Hernandez and Herrera on the right wing, who's done so well on the attacking front for this Georgia team. Beautiful little move there. Apparently from Kevin Mendoza, it appears. Jeannet settling it down on the wing. Light pressure from Amo. You can see the Bobcats' frustrations coming out as we just crossed the 67th minute of the match. Tiam telling his team to press forward and push up, but Elijah Amo has been playing all 67 minutes, so you've got to imagine at this point he's pretty gassed. And maybe we'll see some subs for the Bobcats in a few minutes here, as Davey Mason will try and press up, and he'll just get beat there. Ian Cerro, the midfielder for Georgia, plays the ball there, but to the wrong colors, and it's collected by Forca. We'll play it out to Wyvell, and Wyvell will find a whole lot of nothing except for the sidelines. That one will run out of bounds, and Georgia now has possession again. Something that the Bobcats have struggled with so far in this match is maintaining possession, really. Number 13, Jeffrey O'Toole plays the ball into the box. That was Hernandez, and now Cerro on a shot. Nothing yet. The ball's deflected back out and recycled by Georgia. Gets all the way back to Jadama, who finds Jeannet, who's way out of position. He's in the center mid-mark, and he's the left winger for this team. As this one is going to be a deep ball played there. Looks like from Jeffrey O'Toole, who just clears it all the way to Jacob Boyle of the Bobcats. As now Fork is moving forward on this right wing. Fork is going to find Tiam there, who's going to swing it out to Davey Mason on the left wing. Who's going to look to find Espinal. And Espinal's now on the ball. Plays Tiam a ball just a little bit out, too much in front. As now Georgia is just clearly tired, or they're stopping, and maybe it's an injury. I'm unsure as to why that was a stop. Looks like Jeannet is going to go down and be apparently injured. The forward for Georgia is going to go down, and as we approach the 70th minute mark, there's been a few injuries this half, and some stoppage time is definitely going to be awarded. So that said, with a couple players down, this is a good time to shout out some of the sponsors and some of the people that make this season possible. Fans, check out NISA's new streaming platform, NISA Plus, your home for the latest content, highlights, and live matches. It's all here. All the action, all in one place, only on NISA Plus. And let's also take this time, as we have some players, subbing in on the field. We're going to have a lot of subs, it appears, when we come back. But to shout out Hummel, the official sponsor for the Maryland Bobcats team. Without Hummel, this season and putting together the Maryland Bobcats would be impossible. So it looks like we're going to have a sub for the Maryland Bobcats just after the 70th minute mark. Looks like we're going to have number 31 in for the Bobcats, Julian Hodek, the defender, and they're going to take out number 22, Andrew Wyvell. So Hodek's going to see his first minutes of the day, and Wyvell is going to be swapped out. Looks like they're going to put Hodek in this midfield position. He's marked on the sheet as a defender, but Hodek is going to probably play the 6 role, maybe the 8 for the Bobcats, as we just now approach and cross the 71st minute of the match. A throw by the Bobcats, and they're going to play this one back to Georgia, but play it out of bounds for a throw. And this is some disorganized soccer right now, as it looks like a lot of time is chipping off the clock here. Maybe a throw by Herrera here. Tries to get it to Jeffrey O'Toole, as that one's going to be called, and some aerial action there as one of the Bobcats players goes down. It appears to be the sub that just went, number 31, Julian Hodek, who draws that foul. So shout out to Hodek there. As the Bobcats will have a free kick in between the midline and the end line So it's just right in that 50-50 mark between the two. On the ball, it looks like it's going to be Espinal. Who else could it be? Espinal looks like he's going to put this one in the back post. And looks like Herrera is going to clear that out with his head. That one's going to go out of bounds and award the Bobcats another corner kick. Both these teams have the same amount of shots with 4. Well, only one of these teams has a goal, and that's Georgia FC. But as of right now, that doesn't seem to be the problem, as it looks like one of Georgia's players is down in the box. If I had to guess, I would say it is Herrera, as in Kevin Herrera, the defender. I believe it was Herrera, but whoever it was is back on their feet now, ready for the Bobcats corner. I believe it's Tyler Gabara on the corner kick, on the left side corner kick for the Bobcats. He'll play this one in. And that one's going to go just above the left upper corner of the frame and go out of bounds. But now it's Espinal from the other side, right-sided corner kick taker. He's going to play this one short. Looks like he's going to give it to number 31, Julian Hodick. And now the Bobcats are moving this one around. He's going to loft it up. It's Gabara who lofts it up. And now maybe a shot on goal. Amo plays it back in. And they're going to call offsides, it looks, on Amo. And what seemed to be an exciting play that could have sparked something for the Bobcats late in this 73rd minute ended up being an offsides call and resulting in Georgia possession in the box. So now we have Elijah Clark, the goalkeeper for Georgia FC, on the ball. Ball's lofted up from Georgia into the Bobcats half. Another one just punted there by Jadama. Forka and Pausian clean it up there and play it back to their goalkeeper, Boyle, for the Bobcats. Now a deep ball is played there from Aka to Amo there, Elijah Amo. Cleaned up by Forka and now played to Gabara. Gabara driving, just crossed the half line. We'll play Tongwa Aka, who just crossed the half line as well. Now Davey Mason pretty frustrated. Looks like he kicked that one up, tried to pass it to his forward in Espinal, and that one hit off the hand of maybe Herrera there for Georgia. So now this ball is recycled by the Bobcats, and now Luis Almeida on the ball. Back to Aka. These two getting the most touches on the ball for the Bobcats, as well as Boyle. Almeida back on the ball. Almeida is great at playing the long ball, but the forwards for the Bobcats today just struggled, really, to collect and do something with it on the offensive side as we are 75 minutes into the match. A deep ball here played. Looks like Tiam plays it there to Amo. That one's going to deflect off number 6, Jung Woo So. And be Bobcats' ball as seemingly we'll have another sub come in. This one for the Bobcats. I haven't gotten the notification by the referee yet as to who's coming in. From the looks of it, maybe Mwape. Unconfirmed as of right now. Are they going to do this sub this half? Yes, they will. They're going to bring in their sub, and looks like the captain, Pausian, is going to head off the field. Pausian off. Looks like number 18 for the Bobcats, Wilfred Tanay, is going to come on and play that center mid position as Tyler Gabara is driving closer to the net. And now it's Espinal with a shot, just a skyrocket just above the crossbar. And Espinal has really struggled off free play to get his ball on target. And that's just frustrating from Espinal as he hops there. Maybe an injury, but maybe it's just frustration from the shot as Clark has another goal kick here for Georgia FC. Clark going to play it long, just crossing the half field line, and Julian Hodick is going to head that one. And now number 8, Jeanne, driving for Georgia. Hodick cleaned it up. Got it to Almeida. Gabara. Now it looks like the sub, Tene, is getting his first touches on for the Bobcats. But it's going to be a turnover for Tene. This is number 7, Hernandez for Georgia. On the ball. Now gives it back to Jadama, who will dump it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Clark, who's going to play a ball to Jung Woo So, who's going to just inside of the foot clear that one out. Now Ian Cerro, Hernandez, and Georgia are in pursuit. It looks like Herrera on the ball. Beautiful move there. Ian Cerro is going to play to John A., who's going to take his time on the ball and just settle it down here as Elijah Mo looks to pressure, but won't really get much here as now the pressure's brought on. Jeffrey Otu will play a long ball in. A beautiful long ball in. Patrick Okonkwo. There'll be no foul called there as Okonkwo goes to the ground. And now Davey Mason, with pace, goes up the left flank and tries to find Tiam, and there's nobody to be found for the Bobcats. So we almost approach the 80-minute mark. Clark, the goalkeeper for Georgia, plays that one up to the midline, and now plays this one into space. It's Ian Cerro, and he'll be called offsides. As Boyle that one's going to be a foul on Tiam. Really just a frustration foul there. Saying he was getting his jersey tugged, and really looks like he just threw Herrera to the ground there. Didn't really think about that one too much as Georgia's going to have possession again. Just as what I said, I think they needed to limit in the first half, is really doing a better job not fouling. I said it specifically in their own half. This one seems to be a frustration foul just late in the game as the Bobcats haven't really had much go their way in terms of the scoring sheet. As now the goalkeeper, Elijah Clark, for the Georgia FC, will play this one forward and actually end up going all the way back to the Bobcats goalkeeper in Boyle. As Julian Hodick on the ball, midfielder drops it back off to Targuaca, who will find Davey Mason, who will try and find Espinal. Is just getting grabbed, brought all the way down to the ground. As I believe that was Hernandez on the foul, maybe? Not Hernandez, that was Herrera on the foul. As now we're going to see Tongwaka back on the ball. Gabara. Mason. Aka saves that one, keeps it in bounds. Aqua takes it to the half line, the end line, excuse me. And it went out of bounds for Aka. For Amo, excuse me. Amo, the left winger and forward for the Bobcats. Took just too big of a touch there and wasn't able to save that one before his cross back into play. As Elijah Clark, number 99, the goaltender for Georgia, is going to take his time on this one as we just crossed the 81st minute of the match. Clark on the goal kick. Jung Woo So and Georgia moving up and in for this goal kick. Pretty clear where this one's going to go. It'll be somewhere near that center circle mark. It'll go deeper. Played all the way to Patrick Okonkwo, who will go up, try for a header there. Seemingly hurt. Believed to have been maybe hit in the back of the head. Didn't look too physical from here. But Okonkwo went down pretty abruptly, and he's staying down on the ground as we're going to have the trainer come on the field And you can bet that we're going to see some extra time in today's match due to all of the injuries, players going down, and all that jazz. But right now, we just have a little bit of stoppage because Okonkwo, the leading goal scorer in the NISA, as well as in today's match, and for Georgia FC, is still seemingly on the ground. Hasn't even attempted to stand up yet. We're wondering if that's the trainer telling him and asking him questions. As Okonkwo will be back on his feet, and it looks like he's probably going to stay in the match. No clear-cut signal as to whether he's going to exit the match for a minute. Certainly this team needs Okonkwo. His scoring abilities and ability to just turn it on have been so crucial for the success of Georgia FC this season, as Okonkwo is going to jog off, it seems, for maybe a minute before coming back on. We'll see if he comes back on, but as of right now, Georgia FC is going to play with 10 players. Jungwoo So on the throw, finds O2, midi, back to O2. We'll play this one back to Jadama, who's going to keep it in play and play it back to his goalkeeper, Elijah Clark. Clark's going to play this one forward, looking for number 17. That's Victor Valencia for Georgia. His first minutes, I didn't see a sub signal there, so I apologize if Victor's been in for a few minutes now, but there was no signal from the referees that Victor was coming in as Davey Mason drives down the left flank. Now it's Tiam who lays it off and tries to find Julian Hodek, and just really a scrappy shot there. Nobody really got a good foot on it as Espinal is going to drive forward. Espinal taking it, a beautiful touch around his defender. We'll find Elijah Mo, who's going to be tripped in the box, but he's not going to be tripped. It's going to be a no call here from the referee, Marie Durr. Elijah Mo goes down in the box, looks to be shoved in his back. He blatantly falls on the ground, and no call there from Marie Durr. She must have had a better angle than the fans here, because they're showing some clear emotion and some frustration. They thought that was a foul. So as we are approaching the 85th minute of this match, and no call there in the penalty box, which could have been pretty causal to the overall result of this match, will result in nothing. And now the Bobcats have to recycle the ball. It's Davey Mason on the left wing position. Now the Bobcats will have to try and cook something up before it's too late. So now back in the box for the Bobcats. Haven't seen much yet in terms of action. A long ball there played from Georgia as Hernandez may look to take Tong Lok on one-on-one. Instead, he's going to opt to go back with it. Find Jeffrey O2. He's going to find Jungwoo So. Jungwoo So is going to be fouled here. A yellow card has been awarded here. Pretty surprising that we didn't see something on the other end, maybe in the box when Amo went down, but we saw something here on the left flank when Jungwoo So goes down. Now one of the Maryland Bobcats players, it looks like Julian Hodek, is going to stretch Jungwoo So out, help him get back to his feet, stretch out his leg there, and this one's really just a crucial foul in the 86th minute. When the Bobcats need this clock ticking in their favor, it's not going to. And if I had to bet now, in terms of extra time, I think we'd see at least 4 minutes due to the amount of injuries, but we'll get to that when we do. On the ball is number 10, Ian Cerro. And number 7, Hernandez, it appears. Unclear as to who's going to send this one in. And they're not going to send it in at all. They're going to opt to play it back to Jungwoo So. Jungwoo So on the ball. Plays to Hernandez in the box. Hernandez drives. Plays it to Luis Almeida's feet. who tries to find Tiam up top. Excuse me, Tane. As it looks like we're going to see a sub now. Number 14, Okonkwo, leading scorer for Georgia FC, is going to come off. We're going to see Alexander Fillion, it appears, get his first minutes of the match with just under 3 minutes left in regular time. Okonkwo taking his time to get off the field. So we have a brief break, but Jungwoo So and Georgia are going to have a throw-in coming up. As Alexander Fillion, the forward, runs onto the field, gets this match going for us. Jungwoo So on the throw. Looks to go to Jeffrey O2 there and doesn't really go anywhere. As this ball's going to hit the press box. Bang, bang. First time at Marine Hendricks Field where the press box has gotten hit by a ball in terms of my era with the team, which is just 2 games. So pretty short-lived era, but we are back into play with another ball. Not only just any ball, but the ball presented by Zara, the official soccer ball sponsor of NISA. As this ball is played forward for the Bobcats. As a penalty kick will be awarded there to the Bobcats. A pretty late foul call there, but and the kick has been awarded. My colleague just notified me. Seems like the player there that was on the ball, I don't know if it was Tane or Tiam, but one of them should win an Oscar because that was a pretty solid performance there for Best Lead Actor. But Marie Durr, the referee, saw that it was enough, and now we're going to see none other than Espinal, I believe, try and put this one in the back of the net for the Bobcats as we are about to reach the 90-minute mark. What an astonishing late call. As now Clark, the goalkeeper, Elijah Clark, for Georgia FC is in the net. Espinal looking to put this one away. This is a big, big opportunity for the Bobcats to notch this one at 1 apiece. This might be their last opportunity, if you think about it. As Espinal put this one in the back of the net, steps to it, composed, a direct shot to the bottom left corner, and finds that side netting. And it's been their goal scorer all year, and he's just continued to do what he does. Espinal now tied in terms of goals, I believe, for the Golden Boot award this season with Patrick Okonkwo of Georgia FC, who just went off a few minutes ago. So the standings might get a whole lot more interesting in terms of personal accolades within the next couple days. But now we are tied at 1 apiece. To all those listeners out there and watchers of the stream, we appreciate you. And this game just got a whole lot more interesting as we'll see how much extra time has been awarded in the next couple minutes as we reach the 90-minute mark. As now the Bobcats are going forward. Elijah Mo called offsides again by the AR. Every attack it seems the Bobcats try and formulate seemingly ends up in either an offsides call or a foul call back. So now Georgia will be back on the ball. As now they hope to get another late goal. They were kind of settling the ball down when they had possession because they thought 1-0 was enough of a lead on the Bobcats. That ended up being wrong. I don't know how much extra time they've been awarded. I can guarantee you it's more than 3 minutes. Yeah, it has been 6 minutes of extra time awarded, so a lot, just a big chunk, but no surprise there. I mean, the amount of injuries we've seen and people laying down on the ground for some excess time, it makes sense for there to be 6 minutes of extra time. Still not something we see too often in soccer, though, as now Georgia is driving forward. A beautiful header there, but it's going to go out. That's cleared out there. And that's Richard Forka who clears that one out for the Bobcats. And now Georgia has to recycle, as they will. Finds Zaragoza. Zaragoza's on the ball. Plays this one out to Herrera, who will play it down the line for Jeffrey O'Toole, and Jeffrey O'Toole will not run for it. Now the Bobcats awarded another goal kick. Now the Bobcats going to play this one forward. Bobcats are going forward now. Espinal on the ball. Espinal, another shot. A beautiful save there. Clark with a diving save. That one was going in the upper right corner on this full moon night here in Boyd's, Maryland. Espinal trying to put the game away there. Almost buries a top right crater of a ball. Clark with probably the most beautiful save of the night. But the Bobcats have been awarded a corner kick. Looks like Gabar is going to play this one into the box. Now Espinal again trying to get the ball. Davey Mason, a great header there, settles the ball down. As now Georgia looks to try and put an attack on. Now the Bobcats will have the ball again. Tongwa Aka. Luis Almeida. Bobcats trying to brew another attack. Tyler Gabara on the ball. Gabara going forward. Gabara, beautiful chop there. As Tene goes forward. Plays the ball in there. It's in the box there, and it looks like there's going to be a foul called there. Maybe on Richard Forka. As this one is going to be on the Bobcats. If you are at the game, we can see a beautiful full moon depicted in the sky. And if you're on our stream now, you can see it as well. It's just a beautiful night out here in Boyd's, Maryland, at the Maryland Soccerplex near Germantown. This game has been a really long one so far. 6 extra time minutes, but if you ask me, it seems a little bit longer than 6 minutes. Even stoppages and extra time, I wonder if they tack on or at least stop the clock for those so that everybody gets the full 6 minutes. As we're still tied at 1 apiece, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Elijah Clark, the goalie for Georgia FC, sends a ball all the way up. As now Tane's on the ball, number 18 for the Bobcats, and he's going forward. He's going directly at the defense. He plays the ball forward, and that's just intercepted there. And now you got to think maybe 1 or 2 more balls played, and this game might be over. You can draw. This is the regular season, so there's no stipulations about that. So you got to think maybe this punt, they'll let it play out, and then after that, this game, this final whistle might be blown as the Bobcats are now going forward. It's Tyler Gabara on the ball there who lost it. And now it's going to be a throw for the Bobcats again. As Julian Hodick will win that one. Now it's at Almeida again. Almeida with his patented long ball plays it deep. And that one's in to Elijah Amo. Looks like it's going to be, if they keep it in play, that's going to be a corner kick. That one just ran right out of bounds, deflected off the defender there. Seemingly was deflected off Zaragoza. And now the Bobcats with another corner. from Espinal, maybe. A corner in the box. A goal. A header goal there from a corner from Espinal. We couldn't see who the header was from, but it went in the goal, back of the net. That's going to be a 2-1 lead for the Bobcats in extra time. And you got to think this final whistle is about to be blown right at the kickoff. What a way to cap off this match. The Bobcats hadn't scored for basically 75 minutes and then ended up scoring in the 89th minute and then in extra time too. Off a header goal, Espinal, a beautiful corner kick to the front post. And it's tipped in there. I'll let you know who scored the goal in just a minute when we get more clarity on that last shot. Bobcats were stacked in the box. And what a way for the Bobcats to recoup themselves and get the lead, as now the goal was from player number 99, Abdou Tiam, late assisted from number 10, Darwin Espinal, on the corner kick. Tiam was able to just get that front post, get his space, and find his head on the ball. Darwin Espinal with a beautiful assist there, as I mentioned already. But if you saw this one live, you'd understand why I'm salivating over it. As now the Bobcats up 2-1, and you got to think Marie Dunn and the officiating crew are going to call this one on the next drop ball. As now the Bobcats going forward again. It's Elijah Amo. A throw has been awarded to the Bobcats. And that's the final whistle, ladies and gentlemen, and all those viewers out there. We appreciate you for tuning in. This was an up and down roller coaster of a game. I mean, the Bobcats hadn't scored a regular time goal until the 89th minute of the match. Right before time expires, Darwin Espinal with a penalty kick that was awarded off of a trip in the box. And then finally, in extra time, Abdou Tiam with a header goal off of the Espinal cross. So that'd be 1 goal and 1 awarded assist for Darwin Espinal, the real leader of this team in terms of the stat sheet. And you can just tell this Georgia FC team is distraught. They are looking off in the distance, unsure. Some of them flat on their backs, just gasping for air and wondering what just happened in the last 10 minutes of this match. So, with that said, we'd just like to give you a preview about what the rest of the games will look like for this season and for the Bobcats, as they will be back in action at the Plex on Wednesday, June 12th at 7 p.m. to take on the Michigan Stars FC. You're not going to want to miss this one, and fans can purchase tickets now at tickets.nisasoccer.com. Also, we'd like to shout out Zara, the official soccer ball sponsor of NISA. So now if you're live at the game, you can go check out some of the players and talk to them a little bit more after that thriller of a match. But till then, we'd just like to say thanks for tuning in here on NISA Sports and for tuning into this game, as the Bobcats will pick up, I believe that's their 4th win of the regular season. And the Georgia FC will pick up their 4th loss of the season. So, till June 12th, we'll see you back at the Plex. We thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. And as always, have a good night.